In this video, we'll be using the Modify tools to make some minor changes to the mask that'll be fairly noticeable in our final product. After that, we'll then combine everything together to make it one solid object so it can be moved around easily. And then we'll apply some wood textures. And finally, we'll remove the lines and move it up away from the grid so we can get a good look at it. Alright, let's get started then. In the last video, we created these kind of horns coming off of our mask. We're going to round them off using the Fillet tool. The Fillet tool is under the Modify tab. To use it, we select it, and then we select the edges we wish to round. I'll just select all the ones we made in the last section. Now we can drag this arrow to increase or decrease the radius of the fillet, or we can just enter in a number down here at the bottom. I'll just go ahead and enter in 5 millimeters. That looks pretty good, so I'll just push enter on my keyboard to accept the change. I'll add another larger fillet to the top protrusion of our mask. I'll have to select all the edges first. And then I'll apply the fillet by pushing enter on my keyboard. Now you'll notice that I can still move each part as an individual part, and that I can't add like a fillet per se between the eyebrow and the head, because they're individual parts. They won't interact with each other. So I'll use the Combine tool at the top of our toolbar. I'll first click on the main head to select it as the solid, and then I'll drag a box around the entirety of the mask to select all the other parts as parts to add to our solid. I'll make sure that it's selected on join, and then I'll push enter on my keyboard. Next, I'll use some more Modify tools, mostly just the Fillet tool, to add some more round curves between the parts we just connected together. So for instance, on the eyebrow, I want to make it a softer transition to the forehead, so I'll add a fillet between the eyebrow and the forehead. Now I can't make the fillet too large. That's what that red box at the top is trying to say. So we'll just find a nice small value that works still. I'll do this again to the eyes, and then the nose. Let's add some materials to this to really make it look nice. To do this, I'll select the mask, and then I'll select the Material Library button at the top of our screen. Then I'll go ahead and use varnished wood. I'll make it like a real dark wood, maybe like a wood they actually used to make these masks out of. I'll close that. Then let's turn off these black lines that signify our edges. To do this, we'll go over to the navigation bar on the right side and select the Materials Only option. There we go. Let's get it out of the grid now by using the Move tool. I'll go ahead and rotate this. And then I'll start pulling it up using this arrow here. I'll also just go ahead and type in a very large value, so that way it's nice and far away from this grid, so we can have a nice clear view of it. I'll find my object just by clicking on the Home button. It'll bring me right to it. There we go.